Yo, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Monday Night Raw review as we keep everything on nitty gritty, everything so saucy. I'm your day host, DaVon, with another legendary video, but more importantly, coming for this week's review for June 30th, 2025 for Monday Night Raw on Netflix, concluded in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Appreciate you guys coming through and thank you guys for making this your go-to spot for weekly wrestling breakdowns, hot takes, and everything in between. If you're new here, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. More importantly, let's go ahead and dive into the actual show, and let's go ahead and get into the review. Appreciate you guys coming through. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we dive right into the red brand of Monday Night Raw on Netflix as we kick the show off with Rhea Ripley, who came down to cut a promo. More importantly, it was calm, cool, and collected. Before she even got the chance to get into the swing of things, she was interrupted by the Women's World Heavyweight Champion Io Sky, who came down to lay out a challenge to Rhea Ripley for Evolution as she picked her Rhea Ripley as her opponent. Of course, Rhea Ripley didn't accept the challenge as these ladies continue to stand the test of time. They work well together. More importantly, they have great chemistry. I'm looking forward to seeing this match of Evolution between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. What more can you get out these ladies? A whole lot of bangers and a whole lot of transitional moves and plus more. But I'm excited for it and it's good stuff, and I look forward to seeing what may happen between these two ladies, and it should be a good transition for the World Heavyweight Championship for the women's division. Then we get to Dominic Mysterio, who's coming up to AJ Styles. They had come to face, but the situation got very hilarious and interesting as Dominic Mysterio had Dr. Snow showing that he's still sidelined from the action that took place previously and let Styles know that he can't touch him yet and he's not ready to go. But of course, AJ Styles isn't buying the whole entire situation that's going on, and he looks forward to not only battling Dominic Mysterio, but also getting that Intercontinental Championship. But in overall, it was good stuff, and I look forward to seeing what may happen in the future between these two. You know, when it comes to Dominic, he can go. When it comes to the in-ring work, AJ Styles always is phenomenal. He's a true legend to the business, and there's nothing else going to be short-sighted between AJ Styles and Dominic Mysterio, which you know they're going to put on nothing but more than a clinic and a banger. And I truly look forward to seeing it. I'm excited to see what they can put on the table in a square circle. And you know, those boys going to put on a great entertainment for the Intercontinental Championship. Then we get straight to the action for the Tag Team Championship as the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and JD McDonough was able to capture the Tag Team Championship by defeating the likes of the New Day members of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods after a nice combination leading up to a pinfall with the coup de grace. And overall, this is a nice transitional overlap when it comes to the Tag Team Championship. More importantly, Finn Balor and JD McDonough held their own great chemistry between those two, working together and gelling together, but they was able to beat the legendary New Day as Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods did the best they possibly can to cut off the ring, doing tag team moves, great transitions back and forth, but they came up short when it came to Finn Balor and JD McDonough captured the actual Tag Team Championship. Congratulations again to Finn Balor as getting a dub, and more importantly to JD McDonough as well, as Judgment Day officially actually has nearly all the major championships on the red brand. All that's missing is the Women's World title and the actual World Heavyweight Championship. But we got to see what continues to be peeled up and put the pillars together when it comes to the Judgment Day. But of course, we're going to revisit what's going on with the Judgment Day later in the actual show. Then we get to Bayley and Lyra Valkyrie, who's arguing backstage. And then the general manager of Monday Night Raw, Adam Pearce, ends up booking a match later in the show for those ladies to go head in a singles action, but it was a lot of drama that took place when it came to that pinfall of that actual match. Then we get to a vignette of Bill Goldberg heading to his match against Gunther at Saturday night's main event. He laid down the law. Of course, they go through a highlight reel of everything that had took place, and in the highlight career of Bill Goldberg all the way to the 90s to now, all the accolades, the championships. But what if Bill Goldberg actually wins the World Heavyweight Championship? It'd be very, very interesting if he can topple the ring general in this captivating match leading up towards Saturday night's main event. But Gunther's somebody you do not want to sleep on, but this will be his toughest test. But more importantly, Bill Goldberg's no longer in his prime. He's a little bit older, a little bit slower, but this is going to be interesting to see Goldberg get chopped from pillar to post, and if he's going to take major bumps. It's going to be interesting. I'm intrigued to see what may actually happen between them both, but we just got to stay tuned and see what may actually happen between Bill Goldberg and Gunther, and not only nearly almost 10 days away. But I'm excited, and it should be good stuff, and I look forward to seeing what may actually happen. Then we get to American Made's Chad Gable is currently not available. We end up seeing Ivy Niles and Julius Creed and Brutus confirm that Chad Gable currently is out from a shoulder surgery, and he'll be out of action for quite some time. But the most interesting thing, we saw Luis Kaiser lurking in the background after everything that took place, and he had a little moment of thought, and I was wondering what was going to happen with the situation. But then we got to the backstage. Balor ends up talking to Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis into letting Raquel Rodriguez keep the women's tag team championships. Then he goes on to defend Roxanne Perez for being put into the category of being part of the actual championship and being now the honorary women's tag team champion officially. And of course, the general managers huddled for a moment and thought that was intriguing. But they end up laying down law as well, as they will have to defend the tag team championship in a fatal 4-way match against the teams from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT at Evolution. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, it should be nothing but goodness when it comes to the tag team division. The question is, who is going to be the teams from all three brands? More importantly, will the Judgment Day continue to steamroll past everybody they come in contact with? And it's going to be interesting to see how Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez gel together to form this tag team, as they officially are the tag team champions. But the situation continues to be very, very interesting. What's going to happen with Liv Morgan? Is this going to piss her off? More importantly, is this going to be a renovation or a renewal for her to turn face and go in a different direction? But I'm excited to see what may happen with Liv Morgan, especially the direction of what's going on with Judgment Day now being led by Finn Balor once again. He's making all the moves. He's making all these different things that's going on. But we just got to stay tuned and see what may actually happen. Then we get to the big banger match. Rusev defeated the likes of Sheamus with a mule kick, was able to secure the victory with a Mashka pinfall. These boys filmed a clinic. There was a lot of back and forth, even after Rusev interjected himself by taking off the rod off the ring post and ramming Sheamus' throat directly into that actual post to actually take advantage of the situation with the distraction, and knocked out the big man Sheamus, who's a legendary wrestler when it comes to the square circle. More importantly, Rusev let him know like he's no longer the little brother that he once saw, but he still loves him, and he's better than ever, and he had to take care of business. Then we get to Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, who announced a battle royal for Evolution, with the winner challenging for the title of their choosing at Clash of Paris. This is going to be interesting to see what may happen at Clash of Paris. The PLEs continue to stack up on the international side of things, and we're seeing more and more international dates being put on the limelight of things. I can see this going on with TKO. TKO has been pushing it a little bit more, but of course the American side now is getting a little taste of what the international people felt when they had to get up at 7 or 10 o'clock in the morning to watch an actual PLE, or they can redirect and watch it later in the evening like I usually do. I don't watch it directly live right away. and I don't catch on none of the spoilers, anything like that. I kind of just still do my own thing, be in the comfort of my own home, do my errands with my family, and then I'm gonna watch it when I get a chance to. Unless if I'm actually there live, then it's a different story. Then of course we get to the American Maid, which is hanging out. But the most intriguing thing that happened backstage, we see El Grande Americano. He appeared a little bit taller, a little bit slimmer, but he gave him a nod when it came to everybody that was involved, the Creed brothers and Ivy Nows. They looked confused on the situation. He gave a nod, saying nothing, and walked off. But we all know when it came to the rumors, it looked directly as being no other than the ring general's right-hand man. Looked like he's going in a different direction. It was Luis Kaiser, and I'm all for it. He's going to become the new leader of the American Maid, which Chad Gable's currently going to be out for some months now. And I'm all for to see what they may push when it comes to Luis Kaiser. He's a talented guy. He's in the best shape he possibly can be. And this could be a new, fresh thing for him. And I'm all for to see what American Maid may make the jump ship, or what things that may actually happen. And I'm all for it. Then after that had broke down, we came down to Karrion Kross, who attacked Sami Zayn backstage after everything broke down, and he let him know that he's gunning for him. The staff broke up everything, and it was kind of a little bit interesting with everything that took place, and I'm looking forward to seeing what may actually happen when it came to those guys. Then we get to Stephanie Valkyrie, who was interviewed in a crowd where she vowed to win the women's battle royal at Evolution. And she said if she wins, she's gunning for the women's world title. So it looks like most of these ladies are going for their whoever else is going to be involved is going for their perspective championship on their branding instead of swapping or whatever maybe happened. Actually, as well, we haven't had any news of what's going on with the WWE draft. That even pushed it towards the traditional time right before Survivor Series. We got to stay tuned to see what's going on. Or has TKO flipped the script and kind of just said anybody can go to any show wherever they feel like it, and there's no like set branding where you actually be held on. But we don't know what's going on with the story backstage, but we're seeing more and more talent making the jumps on different shows, making different challenges, as we see CM Punk versus no other than John Cena, and a whole lot of different things that took place. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what may happen at SummerSlam 2. That will be taking place right behind Saturday's main event in Evolution. And a lot of the things can be shaped up, changed around, and become a little bit more intriguing, ladies and gentlemen. Then we get to Gunther, who cuts a promo, says he proved to Goldberg never be heard of again. Before he even got started to talk more and more, he was interrupted by the Monster Money in the Bank, Seth Rollins, who responded to Gunther claiming that Rollins had achieved the pinnacle, but more importantly, he was there for one thing. The promo went back and forth. It was a lot of talking between Seth Rollins and Gunther, but things broke down very quickly. CM Punk came out and he ended up brawling with no other than Seth Rollins. Gunther left the ring, but he took notice of everything that had took place. And then, of course, Punk was shoving Gunther to the floor to tell him to stay out of his business. And that situation broke down as well. But then, of course, things broke down in a quickness when Seth Rollins hopped over the ramp and he was walking the ramp. CM Punk was walking back towards the entrance ramp. He was confronted by LA Knight, who ended up blasting him. They ended up brawling in the crowd up there by the food stands and everything that took place. They headed all across through the food stands, the concessions, the merch, everything. Rollins then, of course, dumped a drink on LA Knight, and he ended up running away. Then, of course, we get a full inauguration for Roxanne Perez, who is welcome into the Judgment Day. She is given the Tag Team Championship, but she said it doesn't feel right until she takes care of business and get the vengeance of what happened to Liv Morgan, as she's looking to go after Kairi Sane after she sidelined Liv Morgan. And of course, Finn Balor approves of it and then goes over the blueprint of what's next for the Judgment Day, as they held majority of the championships on the Red brand. And I'm liking the direction that they're going with Judgment Day. Judgment Day continues to intrigue me each and every single week. and now they've been revitalized to their true form, and I'm all for it, and I look forward to seeing what may actually happen. Then we get a vignette from Kairi saying she said she was coming for all the gold and plus more. The promo was sweet, short and sweet, and it was a cool promo. Then we get to the battle for these women, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, which ended in a double pinfall, and the referee called a draw. But where things got intriguing as they went into a brawl, security and everybody broke among as they ended up fighting directly onto the outside, and things broke down in quickness after everything happened with the staff and so much more. Like we're gonna get a triple threat match at Evolution between Lyra Valkyria, Bayley, and Becky Lynch at Evolution in a three-way for the Intercontinental Championship for the women's division. Then we get to the big one, the main event. Big Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman taking on the likes of Penta and Sami Zayn to defeat him after the big man Braun Breaker was able to hit the spear directly on Sami Zayn to secure the victory. But then they put the beat down and attack on Penta afterwards, but Jey Uso came running down there as usual, put the punches to everybody, was able to knock things out, and he had a chair to have them all scattering, and that had ended the show when it came to the red band for Monday Night Raw. But there you guys have it for this week's edition from Monday Night Raw on Netflix with a lovely review. But let's go ahead and get down to the nitty gritty of everything that took place. I'm going to go ahead and give this review for this actual show. The rating, I'm giving it a show a 7.8 out of 10. The action was on point. The great ring war action that took place as well. And it was a whole lot that took place for Monday Night Raw. The storylines continue to be intriguing each and every single week leading up towards Saturday night's main event, Evolution and SummerSlam. Still look like it's missing a couple of little detailed things, but I look forward to seeing what may happen next week. And also the follow-up of what's going on this following Friday Night SmackDown, as it was pre-taped, but I'm going to check it out and see what's going on with everything that went on. But in overall, thank you all for watching this actual review. If you made it to the end of this video, post your comments down below. Let's get engagement down to this video. More importantly, smash the like button, subscribe, and I appreciate you guys. Let's get to that road of 10,000 subscribers. Until the next episode, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.